to the Be Better podcast with Infinity Real Estate Services. True stories from Bakersfield's business owners and entrepreneurs. We have sold over 50,000 homes in the Kern County area, and we are still going. Delete your limiting beliefs. If you have a dream, turn it into a goal. Only massive, inspired action will get you to where you want to be. If you're starting a business or looking to grow one, you're in the right spot. Welcome to the Be Better experience.
All right, guys, it's Lee Barrison here with Infinity Real Estate Services and the Be Better podcast, and I'm excited about today's podcast because we're always trying to bring you value, whether it be in business, relationships, whether it be entrepreneurship, anything that revolves around growing mentally, spiritually, physically. I'm here to talk about it with special guests. And so today I want to introduce one of my good friends and colleagues. His name is Neftali Hernandez. Neftali, thank you for joining us.
No problem, Lee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glad to have you. I've known you for almost 7 years, and it's been a pleasure working with you. You have a really, really good story that I hope that you can share with some folks out there that are in the business of real estate or folks that might be second guessing their business in real estate or whatever, right? Because you come from a very, very humble background. You're Guatemalan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You grew up in, I guess, Arbin, right?
Yeah. No, Lamont.
Lamont. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Okay, good. So you grew up in Lamont, and you're an Arbin Bear, I'm
Yes,
assuming.
I did graduate Arbin High.
Okay, very good. And before you and I met, you were in the welding business.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. And so, you started a family with your beautiful wife and kids, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your beginnings at that point before you got into real estate, if you don't mind.
Oh, man. It's a long story, but basically, met the wife and, started working in welding. She got me that job. Honestly, I didn't go look for it.
Okay. Yeah.
That tells you everything, right?
Sure. Yeah.
She's been the reason why I've been able to move forward in life and keep growing. And, women have special power over men.
Yes, they do.
And
100%.
I'm very grateful for her. Thank God for her. And I started welding, was in there for 10 years in that industry, and taught me a lot on how to build, and enjoy the process of building. But it got to the point where, welding is a very tough industry. It's hard on your body. It's hard on your lungs. I saw like 3 people die of cancer in that company.
Ouch. Okay.
So, after a while, I started, pursuing different avenues until I met God. And that's when God told me, hey, I got something else for you in sales. So I got a business for you. So then I started pursuing real estate.
Yeah. And
that's where everything kicked off, and everything lined up, and got in connect with Eddie Garcia, and he kind of told me what to do with the books and go to school and get my education going, and was able to get it pretty clearly. It took me 4 tries, but
that's okay.
Got it done.
You persevered.
And, I'm not too book savvy, It takes quite a bit for me to understand certain things, and that's kind of like how everything got started.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I remember the day that we met was in our conference room on Truxton Avenue.
Yeah.
And you came in and you actually had a conversation with God. And he gave you some questions to ask me prior to us meeting. So you basically pre-qualified me a little bit, right? And I still remember it to this day, almost 7 years ago. We sat down. And we had a conversation, but then you stopped everything. You said, do you mind if I ask you some questions? And I said, fair. Yeah, absolutely. And you pulled out a sheet of paper, and there was a bunch of questions on there. And you said, God told me to ask you these questions. So I want to go through them with you. And at that very moment, I knew I was dealing with a very, very special person. I really did.
Thank you.
100%, man. Because you allowed God to direct your business, right?
Yes.
And you gave him 100% faith on what questions to ask.
Correct.
to confirm that I'm in the right place at the right time, right? So before we go any further, we decided to go to business together, right?
Correct.
Almost 7 years ago. And then at that time, we talked about you talking to your boss about giving you or firing you to give you 6 months of business or income, I guess, best way, unemployment.
So yes, so technically it came out of him.
Yeah.
My boss told me, I'm going to help you achieve.
He brought it up.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
okay.
help you achieve
Yeah.
where you need to go because I know where in the business you're going. You're probably not going to get paid right away. So you're going to need some money to survive.
Yes.
So I'm going to fire you so you can get unemployment. Now, it sounds wrong.
Yeah.
But it really helped and it got me by because the first year in real estate was really tough. It is not easy.
That was
hard.
huge. Neff.
Yes.
I mean, that was that was a God thing right there.
Yes.
You know,
1000%.
I mean, he understood that. Look, I mean, I don't hate you. I love you. I want to take care of you,
Yes.
and I'm going to fire you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you 6 months worth of income of unemployment so that we can get on your feet. And you said the first year wasn't easy.
Well, yeah, I started half of the year, so I think the first 5 months, I only sold like 4 houses.
Okay.
Yeah, and that it was tough. It was not easy. It was
Sure.
very hard. But
It's never easy for anybody.
those checks really helped us get by. I have a family, 3 kids I gotta feed. Well, 4 with the wife. She stays at home, and I wanted her to stay at home because nowadays society has this thought process that mom should always be working, but what about the kids?
Yeah.
They need to be mentored and nurtured so they can grow up to be good citizens for the world, And that's kind of how I went by it. And after that, it just flew.
So 4 deals in your first year, or half a year.
Half a year, yeah.
Right. And then as far as growth is concerned in your business, right? I mean, this is crazy, right? But I remember that same day when we were having a conversation, you had tattoos on your neck right here, right? You're all clean now, right? But I remember you asking me, do you think I can actually make it with this on my neck?
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
I said, yes, I think you can. Because people are going to see through the tattoos on your neck or whatever. Obviously, you got them removed because we can see that, right?
Yes.
And you look great.
Thank you.
But at the time, you had some self-confidence issues because of what was on your neck. Of course, I mean we want to be presentable, but yet you still made it happen. I don't think the tattoos ever had anything to do with your success in this business, right? Because
No,
in your third year, you closed like 37 transactions.
Correct. Yes.
Coming from a half a year to year 2 and 3.
Yes.
So tell me, I'm going to ask you a magic question, and I think you have the answer. Ready?
All right.
What do you blame your success on in this business?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, he is my success. I had a picture image of this industry because when you see real estate agents, that's what I used to think. Those guys always have money. Oh, boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong.
Yes.
It is so much hard work. But I did come to realize that real estate is all about loving people and cherishing relationships. And that in and of itself will open multiple doors for you to grow in this industry. And the money will come. That's what I've realized. Now,
Passively.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, you got 2 types of agents, I see those that are driven by cash and those that are driven to really influence people and change their lives to keep a long time, relationship. And the second one is much better because it really opens up doors where people are like literally referring you because you take good care of them, because you care for them.
And it feels good.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a genuine, authentic, organic type of relationship versus
Yes.
money driven where you're just chasing the dollar. Everybody has a number on their forehead.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so
And
sad.
and you've always had that in
Yeah.
you. I've noticed that. And, as a real estate agent for 7 years now, your business doesn't come from the hustle or, not all about the hustle. Right. But it's
Correct.
all about the service and what you provide to your clients.
Correct.
To where they just automatically refer more business to you and you're their they're raving fans. You know, they're walking the earth looking for people to refer you.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree with that 1,000%. You know, Lee, as you sit here and you go through this walk with these people, you come to know them and see that, you know, they have feelings and there's certain things that they expect from you, and you really gotta connect with their emotions and be like, I gotta care for this person because it's the right thing to do. And you could see them as a paycheck or you could see them as a friend. Decision is yours. If you see them as a friend, I promise you they're gonna refer you without you even asking.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it for you, and when you least expect it, you're gonna get that call. When I started this industry, I said to myself, I don't want to be busy to the point where I neglect my clients
Or your family.
or my family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I want to be busy. I want to
Yeah.
be busy working with people. But if I'm busy to the point where I can't pay attention to them enough, then I need to cut back. I need to cut back and enjoy the process with them because this is a special moment for them as well.
Yeah.
I can't just look at the paycheck.
No.
You got to look at people's hearts, you know?
Yeah.
And God told me that clearly. Keep your eyes on me and the heart, because this business could switch you around completely. You've witnessed it already. You've seen it. The lack of communication that people have nowadays is so sad. It's all about just a text, an email now. No more picking up the phone and bonding with the other agent, growing, you know, multiple doors to have open. And I think God is changing the industry to put more people in here to create that relationship back how it used to be.
I love that, Neff.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. I mean, you know, the money is just a byproduct of believing and building relationships, I believe, right?
Yes.
It's not about, you know, how quickly I can put them in escrow or, I mean, I remember one time, right? I remember a time in our lives when there was a for sale by owner off of Weepatch Highway.
Oh my goodness. Here we
Right? And you never called a for sale by owner before.
go. Never.
And we called this guy, and you got the appointment, and you took the listing, and you did open houses on the listing, and he would stay present, and you would sit there and minister to him.
We would read the Bible and we'll talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
6 months.
And you never sold the house.
No, did not sell it.
Right. And then is on Whirl Away.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I got a pretty good memory. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so you didn't sell the house, but they also came back to you,
Yes.
and we obviously sold the house
A year later.
a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that. Like, what was that experience like?
You know what? I've noticed that God has put me in some crazy situations, but this is one of them where I would sit with this man, and this man was bitter, just angry. One of those old school. No.
Grouchy old man, yeah.
Do things my way. All right, but little by little, he would sit with me at the open houses, and I would tell him and ask him questions. I didn't push Jesus on him, but I would just ask questions. Till I started asking him, so would you ever want to get to know God? Yeah, I would like to.
Uh-huh.
And it started from there, and then I would read to him and tell him, how God would operate and do things. And little by little, he started opening up. He started saying, you know what? I think I got to give this a shot. And then when he said that to me, he gave me a call. Hey, we're going to have to stop the house because I can't afford the payment, so I'm going to have to rent it. And then we stopped.
Okay.
And then about a year later, he called me, hey, let's sell it. Now I'm ready. And so we get on the market. He heads out, moves out to Yuma, somewhere in Yuma. And we sell the house within 30 days.
Yeah.
People that moved in, they were Christians themselves as well. So I got the whole picture together that sometimes God is holding certain houses for certain people.
Oh, man.
And it's wow.
That's a dagger right there.
Yeah. A couple of months later, he passed away. And I talked to the sister still. And but we know he's with God because
Good. And you led him in that direction.
I tried my best.
You did your best.
I told him everything I had to, but just based on what I saw, he's okay.
That's all right. All right. I love it. Well, let's talk about another story that just happened recently.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the story. That's obviously God-ridden.
Oh my goodness.
Up in Modesto.
This is very strangely because
this is a wild one.
Yes, one morning I wake up to an email from a gentleman stating that God told him, I need to use you as my real estate agent. I have the email saved. And so I reached out to him. I thought it was junk, man.
But where did he find you though?
So I had sold a previous home down the street from him.
Okay.
I'm sorry, next door to him. And he told me ever since he saw me on that house that he knew he had to call me, but he decided to go through 4 other agents in this is Modesto, California. I'm in Bakersfield.
Right. Yeah.
So that tells you everything. You know?
Yeah.
So he went through 4 different agents. They couldn't get it done. And then he contacts me at the end. He says, I've been trying to sell it, but obviously everything keeps coming back to you. We got it sold in 2 weeks. It was a long journey because it was a probate. A
10-year probate.
10 years probate. It was quite a learning process with this file because the attorney didn't do the paperwork correctly, and we had to go and clean up the mess. And the second seller would not sign. Got on the phone with the seller.
You found the seller.
Stacy found her.
Yeah, with Stacy's help.
But she would not answer Stacy at all.
Yeah.
Then I decided to call. Called me the next morning. She goes, yeah, I'll sign wherever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, let me set you up with Stacy and close the very next day. But it was a 2-month escrow. And we had technically sold it in 14 days, but when we were going to come to close, we didn't know because the attorney did the paperwork wrong.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but again, I mean, what was the email, or what did that email look like that he sent you?
I have it.
Yeah, I mean, what did it say?
Basically it said, good morning. I would like to make you my realtor. God said to hire you.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it said.
Yeah.
And I remember I even called you that morning.
Yes. You shot me the email.
Yes. And I was like, I don't know, is this true?
Yeah.
And he called me within the hour to confirm, this is the house. Send me the listing agreement. And asked me how much we charge. Nothing.
You never met him?
Never met him.
In person?
I still haven't met him in person.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Neff. So Neftali that's a name that's been brought up in the Bible.
Yes, it's one of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yeah, what does Neftali mean?
One of the 12 tribes of Israel.
One of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've read books in the Bible before, and it brought up Neftali because I've never heard that name before. You know, it's very. It's not very normal, I guess is the best way to put it. Right?
Yeah, I guess we'll say Lee.
But again, when I ran across it, I'm like, whoa, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So mom had some sense.
My dad. It was my
dad. Your dad, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't even the first. It was my older brother.
Yeah.
But they decided to give it to me. So
yeah.
I'm grateful.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, so Neff, now that we're 7 years in the business, I mean, look at, I remember when you lived in a garage conversion in DeGiorgio, I think, or Arvin. Okay. So yeah, that's where we met. You and your wife, and was it 3 kids at the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a garage conversion.
Correct.
And then you got your real estate license. You sold 4 homes in your first 6 months of real estate, or whatever that might look like. And then your 3rd year, you got to about 37. And then you just recently bought, you and your family, a brand new home.
Correct.
In the southwest part of Bakersfield.
Yes.
So, tell me about that journey. Like you know, a lot of hard work and struggle and prayer and thoughts. Tell me more about that.
Man, what a journey.
Yeah. You should be very proud of yourself.
Really,
you know that, right?
You know what? I'm just grateful for the opportunity. That's all. Just take the opportunity. Man, where to start? It's hard to even believe that we own a home like that. You know, coming from a 1-car garage, living in a converted garage. We went up that high. I don't have words to describe it, Lee. I'm just grateful that I even have the opportunity to make the payment on the house to continue to live there. You know, 'cause nothing is guaranteed that we're gonna be able to make the next payment even for the next month. But it was such a beautiful journey. I would say God is amazing. The way He put everything together for me and my family. Just watching all these people get their home drove me to I gotta get a house for my kids and my wife. You know, I think within the 3rd year of being in real estate, we were able to buy that home. And I came to you to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Lee, what do you think?
It was a big decision. I remember that.
Yeah, purchasing a $500,000 home is like, Lee, what do you think? 'Cause
right.
that's kind of crazy. You know, I was looking at the payment. I could get something more affordable. But no, the wife wanted that, so that's what we went with.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it.
And God's provided all the way through.
Not missed one payment.
That's good. That's important.
Good, yes. Love my house. I mean, it's a, I don't know, Lee, there's a lot to say. I'm just overjoyed and grateful to God that he gave me this opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, you have a really good story, Neff. You know that, right? I mean, it should impact a lot of folks out there that are listening to this story right now. Mm-hmm. No matter what they're doing, I think that, ever since day one, since I met you, you've always been more reliant on just giving it to God and walking away versus pounding the pavement and going through these motions. Okay, so here's another quick tidbit about Neftali Hernandez, right? Is that Neff, this is his life. A day in a life, this is what I would imagine a day in a life with Neff would be like, right?
All
right, here we go. So he wakes up about, 7, right?
Yeah.
And he gets ready, and then he does his job, right? He gets on the phones, and he talks to his people, perhaps.
Very first thing I do is spend time with God.
Spend time with God. Okay, good. I'm sorry. Yeah, spend time with God. And then maybe perhaps he gets on the phones for about an hour or so. But then he sends me pictures of what he's eating every day. So he's on a carnivore diet. Yes. And so every day it looks, I get a picture, not every day, but every so often I get a picture of him eating eggs and beef and that's what he does on his lunch break with his family and his kids, and they're chilling, right?
Yes.
And then maybe he goes back to work and shows property in the afternoon.
Correct.
And then he just takes it easy.
I enjoy the family.
Yeah.
So God has led me in this journey now on eating better and taking care of your health. Yeah. Because health is the most valuable thing we have.
Without health, there's no wealth.
There is nothing. There's nothing. And, I'm on this journey so far. I've lost about 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
50, yeah. So I was at 200. I'm at 160 right now. I think that's 50, right? No, that's 40. I'm sorry, that's 40.
That's okay. Yeah.
It's been a journey, because I went to the doctors for certain issues with my stomach. Doctors don't know nothing. I'm sorry to say it, guys, but all they want to do is give you pills.
Yeah.
So
Big pharma.
God has showed me, understand your body. So if you look at how your body works, it operates on fat, transformed into glucose, right?
Sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah. And sugar kills people.
Yes, it does when you have an excess amount of it.
Yeah.
And normally people are consuming sugar like crazy.
Yeah. And we don't even know it.
Yes, we don't. So if you look at your ancestors, they only lived off meat. So why did we leave that? Started watching doctors talking about how even vegetables can be bad for you because they have defense mechanisms to attack your gut. But it's not bad for animals because they were designed for that. Yeah. They break it down for you so you could eat it down in the meat.
Got it. Okay.
Very interesting.
So the vitamins from the vegetables.
Correct.
They feed the meat, and then you consume the meat. So therefore, you're getting a more cleaner version of the vitamins and minerals that are within the vegetables, I guess.
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct. Even if you analyze yourself, eat a steak in the morning, like say 10 a.m., analyze yourself. You won't be hungry for a while. But if you go and have a piece of bread, I give you 2 hours where you'll be hungry again. So all that's telling you is your insulin is high and it's trying to stay at the same level so you don't get that crash. Because after you eat so much sugar and you don't replenish it, you will have that, I feel like this.
Yeah.
Eat meat, you will not feel that way.
You have energy, more energy throughout the day.
Correct.
And it digests slower, a lot slower than, so therefore you're fuller longer.
Correct.
Right?
It just makes sense. Look, if the food is dead, why would it give you life? And if the food has been alive, obviously they have to kill the animal or any animal, then it's going to give you life back. It's just common sense.
So bread and tortillas don't have life?
Bread is one where depends how it's made.
Yeah.
Depends how it's made. Because I've seen in other countries where bread is good. But the bread here in the United States that lasts 30 days, that has too much preservatives for your body to, it's like a toxin that it's so bad for you.
It's like a hamburger bun that's been sitting out for 6 months and there's no mold on it.
Correct. That's what you got to think about.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Always ask yourself, why? Why am I eating this? Am I eating this because I'm hungry or just because I want to have a snack? Because those are two different things.
Sure.
How much, if you look at back, say 300 years from now, people would probably only eat once a day and they were just fine. We made it here. How did we get here?
Right.
So that's something you got to ask yourself.
Yeah.
I got to analyze how I'm eating.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, Neff, that from the day that we met, you look younger.
Thank you.
Your eyes look different. Your face looks different. You look more healthy, I guess is the best way to put it. You know, and not to say that you're a health freak, but you just watch what you eat.
Yes.
And
I'm not going to say I don't have a hamburger. I would be a liar. Or that I don't like ice cream. I don't like cake and all that. That stuff is amazing.
Yeah, sure.
But you got to limit yourself to it. That a dessert is meant for maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
So if you were to eat a dessert, what would be your favorite dessert?
Oh, man, chips with cheese.
Chips and cheese.
Hot chips and cheese. Oh, that is good, man. But it just depends. The mood. Who doesn't love ice cream,
Yeah.
It tastes amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. Just because something tastes amazing, it's only right here. Once it goes down to your stomach, there's where the nutrients really get absorbed. And the bad stuff is where it really messes up your body.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I endeavor to persevere to be in your shoes one day, health-wise, eating all the right stuff. Obviously, you've influenced me a lot.
Really?
Yes, you have. Yeah. So, I eat a lot more avocados. I eat a lot more eggs. I eat a lot more beef, chicken. I'm very. I tend to watch the amount of bread that I eat. I'm not a big sweet tooth kind of guy, so I don't need a lot of sugar, ice cream, like you said, or whatever. Although I'll partake here and there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. But luckily, I guess I'm just grateful that I don't have a sweet tooth, because I know some people that just devour sweets all day long, right?
Yes.
But yeah, you've influenced me a lot.
Wow.
And I think the pictures that you send me at lunchtime, I'm like, man, I've got Taco Bell sitting in front of me. He's eating steak and avocados and all this good stuff,
And it's actually cheaper to eat that way, because people say it's expensive to eat healthy. I'm like, no, it's expensive to be sick.
Whew.
And understand your industry. Sick people make money. Healthy people do not make you any money, because they take care of themselves.
That's
and even
true.
if you spend $300 on meat, that's quite a bit of meat for a whole month.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So there shouldn't be any excuse. Another thing I've seen is water with salt. Some of the best nutrients you could get in your body.
Salt water.
Yes, water with salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt. That kind of salt, your body needs it. But the doctors have pushed you away from it, saying it raises high blood pressure. What's the other one? Forgot the name of it. But the point is high blood pressure. That it raises that up. And I don't know if you know.
Because they want to give you more medications.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But if you look at the medication for high blood pressure, it says potassium. So why not just eat potassium instead of drinking a pill that has multiple side effects?
Just eat bananas.
Bananas is a sugar.
Tons of sugar in bananas.
If you want potassium, eat avocados.
Yeah, there you go.
Or coconut water. That has a little bit of sugar that's not crazy. It's not gonna.
Avocados have good fat too. It's healthy fat, I guess.
Lemon, that's another one.
Lemons, yeah.
So the first thing in the morning everybody should have, no excuses, is water with salt and a little bit of lemon.
Interesting.
And it will get your digestive system going amazing.
Really?
Yes, I promise you.
Okay.
I've been doing it, and I think about this. If you drink a glass of water and it doesn't have any nutrients, what are you doing with it?
I don't know. It's just water.
It's just you're retaining water for no reason.
Right.
But if you add a mineral to it,
which would be salt.
Correct.
Right.
What are you doing now?
Now you're the salt, I'm assuming, would allow the water to go through you quicker, maybe, because it dehydrates your system a little bit, maybe, or.
Well, now you're putting minerals into your body, and the water is good for you now.
Okay.
Think about it. Dead water, alive water.
Yeah.
Live things give you life. They heal you. The own food that God made will heal you. But if you eat dead food, then obviously death is what's going to create.
Man-made food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like a lot of people didn't know that broccoli is man-made.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, look it up. Look, a lot of the things that they call vegetables nowadays were just breeded to made into one.
I'm assuming that broccoli was like a tree at one point, or.
You know what? If you look up the images of how it really was created, you'll be like, why are we even eating this?
Are you serious?
Yes.
I gotta look it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at broccoli. When you eat broccoli, and this applies to mostly everybody, it makes you bloated. you should not have that problem.
Yeah, I get gassy when I eat broccoli.
Why is that?
Right.
Why is that? Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Your body's telling you. You just don't, we don't pay attention.
But it tastes good.
Yeah,
With
it
butter?
does. It does. It does. Asparagus is another one, you know. It tastes great. I guess you could have it in moderation, but it just depends.
Yeah. All right, Neff, let's make it a wrap. But hey, listen, I appreciate you being on this podcast. But before we close, any last words you want to go ahead and give everybody out there that might be needing to hear something?
You know, to people that are really starting in this industry, and it seems tough, don't give up. Keep pushing. Remember, it's about the person, not about the dollar value that they bring to your pocket. And try to involve God in your guys' life. If you guys don't know Jesus, man, he makes everything so much better. He guides you the right way. And I promise, true success is knowing Jesus Christ. It's not about how much money you have in your bank account. All that stuff is, one day you will leave it to somebody and you won't even get to enjoy it. So why not enjoy wealth with God that he gives you? Think about it that way. And then for those people that don't like to pick up the phones in industry and everything's about texting and email, pick up the phone. It makes the transaction so much more better, and everything just goes more fluently. And I don't know, you just build new relationships. I don't know about you guys, but I love to meet to people, get to know people, meet them, know who they are, and go from there. You know, and just enjoy the process of real estate, because it's an amazing industry. It can be really good to you if you treat it right.
I love that, Neff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the newer generation, I think, is stuck on texting and email and AI.
Which is good. I agree with it.
Yeah. I called an agent this morning to get some feedback on a listing of mine, and I got an immediate response. And it says, for a quicker response, text me. Well, guess what? I still have not heard from him. And so I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
You know, that's an old school way of thinking, but this business is based on relationships.
Yes.
Life
is based on relationships.
Life is based on relationships, right? I mean, that's what makes us congruent, makes us, be happy, basically. I mean, relationships allow us to have happiness in our life and being able to pour into other people. But if it's all about text and email and so on and so forth, then it's just like, okay, this is just transactional.
Understand. I've never understood what a salesperson is. Now that I work in it, I understand it.
Yeah.
Product will sell by itself, but the way you provide service to somebody, that is what people are after. Good service, loving service, and kind service. Go after those motives. I promise you, you will stay in business for the rest of your life. That needs to be your approach. Obviously, keep God first, and he will teach you how to care for people in those areas, but that needs to be everybody's motive.
Okay, guys, so you heard it from Neftali Hernandez himself. I mean, God first. And what I took from this conversation, Neff, is never put money in front of people.
Never.
Right?
You taught me that. Well,
Yeah.
You told me that from the day one when I met you.
Yeah. And
You told me a story how you gave up your commission check. And guys, it's okay to cut your commission once in a while to give somebody keys.
Yes.
You should not be the reason why a person does not get keys because you want to put more money in your pocket.
Yes.
You will make money sometimes, and sometimes you're going to have to take a pay cut, and that's okay. God will reward you.
Yes,
Look
he
at the
will.
bigger picture. Somebody's going to have a home.
Yes. And they're gonna appreciate you for the
Yes.
rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Because you save them, basically. That sometimes you got to save the deal.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so putting people in front of money, I mean, the money will come. Don't worry about that. Just worry about their circumstances.
Correct.
And worry about taking care of them. Don't worry about yourself. Never put yourself in front of the client.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But always put the client in front of you, and then the money will be a byproduct of your good service and well thought process. So, Neff, with that being said, it's a wrap. And before we shut it down, let everybody out there know how to get a hold of you, where to find you, so that way, in case somebody needs a great agent like yourself, they can contact you.
Well, I will say there's multiple great agents at Infinity. I will say that.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you guys want to get to know me and get to work with me, and I would love the opportunity, number 661-557-5517. That would be the best way to get a hold of me, because I have emails, I have all that, but I prefer a phone call. Just being honest.
Very good. No text.
Yeah, you can text me,
I'm
but
just
I'm going to
kidding.
end up calling you, because when it comes to buying a house, there's no way of explaining a text message
Sure.
how to start the process.
I love it.
It is, but it's too long. But a call is much better.
Very good. All right, guys. It's a wrap. Thanks for joining us on the Be Better podcast. Neftali Hernandez, reach out to him if you have any questions or if you need some service. With that being said, thanks for watching and make it a great day.